Today it's going to be very important to check your solutions because we're going to be squaring. We're going to be squaring variables, which means we're introducing another power, an extra answer. We're going to have extraneous solutions, extra solutions, answers that aren't really answers. That is a possibility today. We could have, they could both work. It could just be that one of them works. Okay? So, let's look at this one. How would I solve this problem? Square. Yeah, the radical has been isolated. The radical's isolated. It's ready to square. So, square and square. I have p squared equals 2 minus p. Does anybody know what to do now? Add p? Okay, I can do that. What now? Okay, before I get ready to start throwing everything within reach at you, how do you solve something that has a power of 2? Factor! Christian just saved all of you. Say thank you, Christian.
Thank you, Christian.
There you go. You've got to factor this. So this should actually be p squared plus p minus 2 equals 0. A good heads up could have been when I said yesterday, tomorrow we're going to solve these with factoring. Yeah, that's what I said yesterday. And then today I said, how do you solve this? And you're all like this. That's what you did. Okay, so how do I factor that? Two numbers that add together to be what? 1. Okay, multiply to be 1. No, multiply to be negative 2. Let's do this. Add to be 1. That's what we want, right there. So what are they? Negative 1 and a positive 2. So p squared minus 1p plus 2p minus 2. We're not going to skip any steps because some of you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. Even though we've been factoring for like 12 years now. What comes out of this front part? A p, and you're left with p minus 1. What comes out of this back part? A 2, and you're left with p minus 1. So I have p plus 2, p minus 1. So if p plus 2 equals 0, then what does p equal? Right, the other one, if p minus 1 equals 0, then p equals 1. Okay, so you gotta check those. If I put negative 2 in, do I get the right answer? That's gonna be the square root of 4. Am I gonna get 2 when I put in the square root of, or negative 2 when I get the square root of 4? No, I'm not. That one's out. You're out. How about this one? Does 1 equal the square root of 1? Yes, it does. That is your one solution. This one always has 1. When you take the square root, you are just looking for the principal square root, which is the positive one. Yes. Unless it specifically tells you, but none of these are going to tell you that you want plus or minus. They're all just going to be the principal root. Alright, so I'm going to give you another one to try. You can do this one on your whiteboard if you want. And Chris is not going to give me any answers on this one. Christian. Booker. That person right there. Why do you call him that?
have it for like a long time ago.
Okay.
I don't even remember why it's
I'm gonna call you Roger.
okay.
All right. Roger is not answering any of these at all. Okay. You have to do all of this on your own. All right. There you go. All right. Let's see what you got so far. Okay. You need to learn how to factor. All right. Some of you've got it. You're good. Square and square. I end up with 30 minus x equals x squared. Move everything to one side. Two numbers that will multiply to give me negative 30, but add to give me a positive 1. 6 and negative 5. Okay? 6 and negative 5. So I'm going to take out an x from this one. I'm going to take out a negative 5 from this one. X minus 5, x plus 6. So that means x equals either 5 or negative 6. I know it's not going to be negative 6 because that's just equals x. It's not going to equal a negative. So I'm just going to check the 5. Make sure the 5 works. 30 minus 5 equals 5. That's the square root of 25 equals 5. We're good. That's my answer. All right, let's try another one. Try that one. All right, let me start working this one. So the radical has been isolated. That's important. The radical has to be isolated. And in this case it is. So I'm going to square both sides. Now when I square this side, I just get x plus 1. When I square this side, I get x squared minus 10x plus 25. That's what I get. Okay? I'm going to subtract x and 1. X squared minus 11x plus 24 equals 0. Two numbers that will multiply to give me 24 and add to be a negative 11 are negative 8 and negative 3. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 plus 3 is 11. I need them to be negative though. Take out an x, and I get x minus 8. Take out a negative 3, and I get x minus 8. So x minus 3, x minus 8 equals 0. That means x could be 3, or it could be 8. I can't just toss one of these out and say, oh, that was a negative, so it's going to go. That's not going to work here. I have to actually check them. Except, what's going to happen when I do 3 minus 5? It's going to be a negative, right? So, you're out. 8 minus 5 is 3, and 8 plus 1 is 9. Does that check out? So that's my answer right there. Okay. I have a feeling you're really going to love this next one. going to work this one with you, and then I'll give you one to work by yourself. Okay, so I've got two radicals, right? Okay. I still have to square it to get rid of the radical, but what's really important, what have I said 1,000 times? Before you can square it, you have to do what? Isolate. Isolate the radical. Well, I've got two here. I can't isolate two things. Okay, that's not, can't do that. So I'm going to isolate one of them. Square it. Deal with the mess. And then square it again. Okay? Here's what I'm talking about. Since that's being subtracted, it's going to be really easy just to do this. So I'm going to have 3x minus 5 equals 1 plus the square root of x plus 2. That's what I have, right? Now, see that radical right there? It's isolated, right? So, I'm going to square it. I'm going to square this side, and I'm going to square this side. This side I'm left with 3x minus 5. This side has to be FOILed out. You have to FOIL it. It has to be FOILed out. It is 1 plus this times itself again. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times the square root of x plus 2 is the square root of x plus 2. And that's still the square root of x plus 2. Hey, but this one, that's going to get out. Does everyone see how every green number got there? Okay, let's clean it up. It's going to be 3 plus x plus 2 times the square root of x plus 2. That's what I have going on right there. Okey-dokey. Clean it up. Isolate that radical again. Okay? So I'm going to subtract 3. And that's going to be negative 8. I'm going to subtract x. That's going to be 2x. So I have all of this. Now, I'm going to tell you something, okay? This is a really easy one because these are even numbers. So I can go ahead and divide by 2. If this had been like 7, where it would have ended up being fractions, I'm not really sure I would have divided. I may have left it there and just squared it along with squaring that. That is possible. If you square this 2, then you're dividing by whatever the square is. It's possible, and sometimes it makes it easier in the long run, but this one, I can just divide by 2, everything by 2. Now, this problem is exactly like the previous problem was. The radical has been isolated, and I'm ready to square both sides once again. Square, square. What is this square to? What's x minus 4 squared? Yep, so what is it? Alright, clean it up and finish it. Start working this out. When I combine like terms, move everything over, I get x squared minus 9x plus 14 equals 0. My two numbers that multiply to equal 14 and add to equal negative 9 are negative 2 and negative 7, right? That gives me a positive 14 and a negative 9. So I've got, did I say negative 2, negative 7? On this front group, I can take out an x. On the back group, I'm going to take out a negative 2. So I have x minus 2, x minus 7. That means x could be 2, or it could be 7. Or it could be 2 and 7. It could both work. Sometimes they do. Sometimes. Check it in the original. That's going to be 1 minus 2 equals 1. Is that true? No. Okay, with the 7, that's going to be 4 minus 3 equals 1. Is that true? Yes. So the 7 works. Alright, I'm going to give you one to try. X plus 11. X minus 5 equals 2. Okay, try that one. That's what we're going to try. So this is going to be 2x plus 11 equals 2 plus 2x minus 5. When you square it, this is 2x plus 11. This right here, you should probably pay attention to what I'm doing because I saw your paper, is going to be 4 times 2x minus 5 plus 2x minus 5. So when you clean this up, you end up with negative 1, 2x plus 4, 2x minus 5. That's what you end up with. So when you clean this up, guess what happens to that 2x? Canceled. Gone. Watch your math. Watch your math. Hey, those papers that you got yesterday, that 9-6, yeah, you need to go all the way to number 16 on that. So, what is that, 9 to 16? 9 to 16 from 9 to 6.